Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
Hello and welcome to the Popternative Podcast. It's the podcast where digital discussions, the worlds of social media, sports, pop culture, all that jazz. As always, I'm your host, Peter Remoliotis. On Twitter, it goes PD Beats. The Winter Olympics, 2018 Winter Olympics are right around the corner in Pyeongchang, and I'm really excited to be joined by three members of Canada's women's national hockey team who are looking to get gold in Pyeongchang this year. I'm going to quickly have them introduce themselves, and we'll get into it.
Hi, I'm Jill Saulnier. I wear number 11. I'm a forward, and I'm from Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Hi, my name is Laura Fortino. I'm from Hamilton, Ontario. I'm a defenseman, and I wear number 8.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Wakefield. I'm from Pickering, Ontario. I'm a forward and wear number 9.
Very cool. Well, first, thank you all for coming on the show. I know you were all very busy, but it's exciting times. The Olympics are right around the corner.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we're super stoked. I think we leave in about 8 days to start our pre-tournament, you would say, in South Korea. So we're really excited to get going and kind of tackle that time change.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's not the first time any of you have wore the maple leaf and represented your country. We'll start with Jill. Can you talk a little bit about the first time you've ever represented Canada on the international stage and what that was like?
Yeah, I mean, that would have been back in 2009, I think, as a member of the U18 team. So to be able to crack that roster back when I was 17 and experience that, with the group of girls there. And, there's some of those girls that were on that team. Laura's one of them. And we was a little bit older, but she was the year before. But yeah, to be able to experience that with them and then, and to be here now experiencing, the real dream is pretty special for sure.
Laura, what about you?
I think for me, it was a pretty humbling experience for me. I was part of the first ever under 18 Women's World Championship team. And I think for me at that moment, it was quite the experience, and to be here in your home country playing in my first ever Worlds at that age was pretty spectacular. My family was able to be there, and just the whole experience in general was absolutely amazing. And every time you do get to put on the jersey, such a privilege, and representing your country, and for us representing our country on the biggest stage at the Olympic Games is an amazing experience.
Oh, absolutely. What about you, Jen?
Well, to Jill alluded to, I was a bit too old for the U18 program when it came into place. So my first time was with the under 22 development team. It was when I was in my first year of college, and it was pretty cool because we were able, it was a U22 series against the US, and it was in Lake Placid. So a bunch of my family came down from Ontario to watch it, and, we ended up sweeping them, which was really, really cool, and just, like an honor to, wear that jersey and be able to play against your rival.
Really, really cool. Now this is the time where I have kind of like specific questions tailored to all three of you. We'll start with Jill. You said you were from Halifax, Nova Scotia, and that is it's a hotbed for hockey. I mean, it's no. Yeah, it is though. Like there's a lot of players that have come from there. Was that something you kind of noticed when you were younger, growing? Well, did you grow up playing hockey in Halifax?
Yeah, I did. I mean, yeah, we don't have a ton to do out there, so I think every other kid has a pair of skates. No, I grew up playing. My brother played as well. My dad and my mom had the rink going in the backyard, so that was definitely something that we always did. My cousin played for the Halifax Mooseheads, so he was kind of an idol growing up, and he also played with Crosby as well. So he, as kind of Sydney went through the ranks and made a name for himself. Obviously that was a focus of mine to watch him and learn from him. And now you have Nate and Marchand, and to be able to experience this alongside of Blair from Nova Scotia as well is definitely very special. Really
cool. Now, Laura, on this Team Canada roster, you have the players that are. You have, the quote-unquote, the vets, the players that have the experience representing Canada many times. Then you have the players that are newer, that are getting this taste for the first time. You kind of being there and kind of having that kind of vet, label, or being around for a long time and kind of helping. Do you kind of see that as like one of your tasks, like kind of to help, the new girls kind of adapt, or is it kind of just like, they've represented their country before on other levels, U18, so they'll be good. But I'm sure a lot of the veterans kind of like to kind of be able to kind of help when they can, right?
Yeah, of course. I think as vets, we kind of take pride and we take on that role of really embracing the new girls on the team and really showing and leading the way. And I think for me, my first time go around, I knew the importance of the vets and how much they helped me day in and day out, and whether it was on or off the ice. So I think this year I really took it upon myself to really get to know each teammate of mine, especially the young ones, and to really always emphasize the strengths that they bring and to always fill them with confidence, because the better they are, the better we're going to be, and as a team we'll be so successful once we get to the Olympics.
Wow, that's well said. No, that's good. Jen, I think it's pretty cool because for many people that don't know, you played hockey in Sweden.
Yeah.
And I find that really interesting and really cool. And can you just talk a little bit about the experiences that you've had in Sweden playing in the women's league down there, and like what it was like? I'm just really, because a lot of people, when you think of women's hockey, you think Canada, U.S., but we see Russia, we see Sweden in these tournaments as well. What's it like in Sweden, the league?
It was a really cool experience. I went right after Sochi and joined Luleå up north, and I really, really enjoyed it. And then I had the opportunity to go back and split time between a men's team and a women's team, and that was something I really wanted to do and kind of tried, and I absolutely loved it. And I always told my parents I was going to come back after the hockey season, and then just kept going back 3 years later. So it was really cool. It was fun to see the way they train, how they balance work and school. And it was fun watching their junior program actually come up in their hockey school that they have. And I think they have a really good feeder system. I think they're just a bit, just behind in the time that they have. Like Hockey Canada is so advanced in that they started the women's program a lot earlier than a lot of these other countries. Mm-hmm. But right now you can see like the parity catching up, with the U22 results that just came out in the U18 as well. But it was a lot of fun. We had players from like Austria who you wouldn't think would be a hotbed, but she was one of the best players I've ever played with. So it was kind of cool to see, the top players from each country kind of come together and form a league over in Sweden.
No, really cool. Yeah, no, I was always interested in that. But so Pyeongchang Winter Olympics, the goal is to get the gold medal. Everyone knows that, that. But what I find interesting is an event with such magnitude, such a huge event watched by so many people over the globe. It's going to be a learning experience. There's going to be things that you're going to take from this for the rest of your lives. Jill, what are you excited about the most about this opportunity? What are kind of some of the things that you want to kind of learn and take from this opportunity with Hockey Canada?
Geez. Kind of like what Laura was saying earlier, just learning from the vets and learning from their experience as well. Obviously, it's my first time representing the country at the Olympic Games. And, with that being said, it's the most excited I've ever been for an event for sure. So, obviously, to be able to get over there and, not only see the professionalism from these girls day in and day out, but also to see, the entire country come together, whether you're at home watching or you're an athlete at the games. I think that's going to be something very special to see, and to see that unity and to be able to represent Canada is something that I'm very excited for.
And Laura, it's not your first rodeo, of course, but are there things? There's always opportunities to kind of learn and improve, and different events, the Pyeongchang. There's gonna be new experiences that you might not even have thought of. Have you thought about that at all? Because it's the time, Jay, you mentioned it right away, the time change. You know what I mean? Like that. There's a lot of elements that come into play.
Yeah, I think every Olympics writes its own story, and there's always unique factors that come with every Olympic Games. And Sochi will be very different from Pyeongchang. And for me, I'm just really looking forward to, the culture is obviously going to be really different, and the time change and the food and just little elements, like you said, and, kind of surrounding the Olympic Games there and all the different environments, the people that you're going to meet. I'm really looking forward to that and having my family there. And like I said, every Olympics writes its own story, and I'm looking forward to writing ours in a couple weeks here.
I like that, the storytelling aspect of it. Jen, Jill, Laura said it. I mean, I'm sure it's you have similar answer to the question, but more specifically, I'm just wondering. Social media is a huge part of the Olympics, and social media is a huge part of hockey, and it's unbelievable, like the live tweeting and everyone's on there. Jen, are you kind of preparing yourself every day for the kind of role that social media is going to kind of play? Because you have to be dialed in and focused. You know what I mean? But there's going to be a lot of people, and I talked to Charles Hamley, the speed skater, Mikhail Kingsbury, the mogul skier, about this, and they know that they have to dial in. But the social media and the fans become such a huge part of the Olympic Games. Do you find it's going to be kind of hard to balance it and stay focused?
Yeah, I mean, I think Canadian hockey is at the forefront for most of the Canadians, watching the Olympic Games just because it's our national sport. So I definitely think, there's going to be people that want to put their own influence on, how we're playing, what systems, everyone's a master coach in Canada for what we should do. So I think you just need to be prepared for, those positive and also those negative comments coming your way. And I think you just need to know your limits within social media, whether or not you want to go on it and see what people say, or whether you just kind of want to, take a step back for, the month that you're away and just, really focus it on yourself and your teammates. And, you do have a big responsibility representing your country, and you just need to know, how to handle it.
Oh, that's really interesting. And Jill, you said it's it's gonna be like your first Olympic Games, and I find that interesting. I mean, there will be there's going to be a lot of people, cheering you on and doing that. Do you kind of see it? Because when I talk to a lot of athletes on the show, they believe that, and hockey players, on the ice, they have their job and everything, but off the ice, they have, the media, this, talking to the media, the social media. It becomes part of your job. Have you ever looked at it that way before?
I mean, as you grow up and you see, the technological developments in these social media channels, obviously you learn what to and what not to kind of focus on when it comes to that. Obviously, we're going to Pyeongchang, for one goal in mind, and that is the forefront and the focus for sure. So I think, and obviously the vets are leading the way as well with this aspect as well too. So just making sure that that is the focus, but obviously tailoring to the media as it should be, and that is part of it for sure. It's fun to kind of share our journey and, like Laura said, our story as well, and that's a great way to do that. But at the end of the day, nothing is going to interfere with the hockey at the end of the day.
Great, no, awesome. Well, I think we'll wrap up here. But Jill, Laura, Jen, all the best in Pyeongchang. It's such obviously it's the incredible opportunity to kind of represent your country. I can't even imagine what the kind of the emotions and the moments you're going to go through. So enjoy it, and all the best in Pyeongchang.
Awesome. Thank you.
Well, this has been Pop Turnitive. Until next time, this is Jen Wakefield, Laura Fortino, and Jill Saulnier signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Pop Turnitive. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Pop Turnitive on YouTube. Be sure to like Pop Turnitive on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.